Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This is an episode that's actually somewhat out of sequence. I already have quite a few episodes recorded from basically October, I guess it was, that I still need to edit and put out. But because something new is hitting store shelves right now, somewhat unexpectedly, I wanted to go ahead and put together an episode on it and slide it into the release order here. So I'm recording this on December 5th, I guess it is, of 2020. You may recall that in 2018, we got this. This is the first Ultimate Collector's Edition, which was neither Ultimate nor Collector's Edition of Solo. This was the 4K Ultra HD copy that came with the 4K disc, the film on Blu-ray, the Blu-ray bonus disc, and a code for a digital copy / Disney Movie Insiders points. Movie rewards at the time, insiders now, right? This was the original slipcover and matching color here because underneath you had the matching interior case. We then saw on March 31st of 2020 the big blast of stuff for Rise of Skywalker, for Skywalker Saga, and for films that hadn't gotten a 4K release in the US yet, which was episodes 1 through 7 and Rogue One, finally getting their Ultimate Collector's Edition 4K / Blu-ray / digital releases in the US. But Solo was left out, as was The Last Jedi, at least as far as those individual releases went, because they already had 4K releases back in 2018. All the ones that were released for 1 through 7 and Rogue One, they all had the new black border packaging, which had debuted in the US back in September 2019 with the reissues of the old Blu-ray and DVD discs, right? We've looked at all that stuff quite a bit in the past. At around the same time, I believe it was the very next day in the case of Australia and shortly thereafter in the UK, we saw that in the UK, they didn't even touch individual releases initially. Over in Australia, Solo did get a black border 4K release, and that was this. We looked at it back then, with that as the back, black border front, no slipcover, standard 4K disc, and standard Blu-ray disc, but they had given a new label to the bonus features disc, even though the bonus features disc didn't have any new content. Then over here in the US, back in May, around the end of May, we finally saw a Black Border Ultimate Collector's Edition 4K release of Solo. Yay! Our sets can match. Kind of. That was this that we've seen previously. Again, Ultimate Collector's Edition, got all the branding and stuff on it. Same discs as we would see, though, back in 2018, which was not surprising because, as you notice with the back that doesn't match, what was inside was just the 2018 release. It was just the 2018 release with a new slipcover put on it. Granted, the disc content hadn't changed in 2020, so it wasn't that big of a deal that it was the old discs, but it was still a non-matching cover on the actual case versus the slipcover. They did that same thing earlier that same month with Last Jedi, but that was a bigger deal because Last Jedi discs had changed in 2020. We've talked about that in other locations on this channel. Then, in August of 2020, the UK finally got their Black Border 4K release here of Solo, which we looked at. And this one was a black border slipcover, no hole on the back, and inside, still the same old release from theirs from 2020. So when they finally, months later got their individual Solo 4K release, it was kind of like ours, right? It was the new slipcover over the old packaging inside. And the question has lingered, when are we finally going to get interior style packaging like Australia had for Solo with the black border and get a black border slipcover to put on top of it so the inside and the outside match and it matches the other releases from back in March and in May in the case of that screwed up version of Last Jedi? Well, we sort of have an answer now. Not really, but sort of, because yet another version of Solo has started to appear on store shelves right around Thanksgiving 2020. That release is this. Notice, this is on the inside. We'll take a look at the inside first. Standard digital copy and points code. Still the original 4K disc from 2018. Still the original Blu-ray from 2018. Still the original Blu-ray bonus disc from 2018 with its original US label. The UK did not change its label. So far, the only one I've seen that changed the label on the bonus disc was Australia, though again, the content did not change. But check out the packaging here. This is not a slipcover. This is the actual case art, and it's the black border thing, finally. It's finally been updated. 4K Ultra HD, 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital code. Got the image there that we see on the other releases of this era. Ultimate Collector's Edition, though of course it's not. Information about, redeeming the digital code. Spine there, Ultra HD Blu-ray. Solo, a Star Wars story. And then down at the bottom, your product number and Lucasfilm. Then on the back, chart the course for adventure. And you've got your UPC stuff up here. Information about the film. Digital code information, 4K and Blu-ray disc stats. Further stats, cast crew information, lots of legalese and whatnot here. Information about iTunes and digital copies as well, rating, and all that kind of stuff here, right? So the same kind of back we saw on the slipcover back in May when they finally updated it. But you notice, what's missing? A slipcover. Well, apparently what has happened is asinine again. Recall that typically, when a new release comes out through Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, if it has a slipcover, the slipcover is on like the first printings, the first shipments that go out. And then as stores get new stock to replace the stock that they've already sold, within a relatively short time, the slipcovers are gone, and it's just the interior packaging that you are seeing. At this point, for instance, in a lot of places, if you go to buy any of those 4K Ultra HD Ultimate Collector's Editions of 1 through 7 or Rogue One from back in March, now, in the US, you're going to find that most of them don't have slipcovers on them at all. But the packaging still matches because it's a black border on the inside. Well, it would seem that the first batch that actually got the black border slipcovers that were pushed out by Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment for Solo were the idiotic ones back in May where they put the slipcover on the old stuff. Whereas now that they're finally pushing out the interior case that matches, now we don't have slipcovers anymore. So as a result, and this is something I was hoping we were wrong about. I was hoping that it just happened to be that the places we happened to see first for the release with Solo black border interior art just happened to be places that didn't have the slipcovers. Oh, woe is us, but don't worry. Somewhere out there's a version of this that puts the freaking slipcover on it so it actually matches and it is what feels like a complete product. But as the days have gone on, and more people have been reporting in the Star Wars Home Video Group on Facebook and elsewhere that they have run into this now in stores, not a single person has reported that it has had a slipcover. Which suggests that, they used up all the slipcovers when they did their reissue of this back in May, even though this was coming later in the year where the slipcover would have made sense. So, if you want a matching version, you're basically going to need to hunt down this version from back in May, right? Which is pretty hard to find at this point with the slipcover. Then get the new release that popped up in November and put the slipcover from the earlier one onto this one. It won't actually be a retail product. It'll be a hybrid of it because the actual retail product of this case apparently has never had a slipcover on it. But if you want them to match, you're going to have to combine two products to make that actually happen. Otherwise, apparently the complete product of this is the discs, the code slip, and the case with no slipcover whatsoever because, again, the slipcovers apparently were all used early when they blew their wad too early, so to speak, by throwing it onto a reissue of the same packaging on the inside. I'm concerned we're going to see the same kind of shit when it comes to Last Jedi, but at least if they release Last Jedi in new packaging, I would hope, I would pray, but not give them the credit to assume that they're going to actually do it, that we would actually have the updated discs available as an individual release in the US for the first time. Other regions have it. We did not. Be nice if they finally did that. And it sort of begs the question now that we saw back in August of 2020 with them actually releasing a black border version of Rise of Skywalker in the UK, that maybe we'll see a black border version here. Though whether that would have slipcovers or not kind of makes me wonder, because it would be a new case but also a new release in general, without them having done a premature black border slipcover, so maybe that one actually would for Rise of Skywalker. We'll just have to see. Suffice to say, the black border bullshit saga that began back in September 2019 with a series of 20 stealth releases at once friggin' continues here in November, now going into December of 2020. And we still don't know what's up with Rise of Skywalker, if it'll get a black border release in the US, or what will happen if they do an interior black border case for Last Jedi. They really should have just freaking waited and followed the same model they did in so many other regions. Instead, what's happened in the US is a cluster criff, so to speak. But yeah, this is out there now if you're looking for it. Most often apparently found at Best Buy. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching and putting up with Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment's BS. May the Force be with the home video viewers. And oh wait, just as a little post thing here, yeah. If you look at the product number here, the product numbers here, or the barcode, this one, same numbers as this one from 2018 and what you see through the hole on this one from earlier in the year. Good luck finding it without actually having to be in a store or going on eBay and seeing someone actually using a picture of the product, which is what I had to do.